Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I am Fan for Racing Sharon, and I'm here to do the preview for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And it's pretty exciting. They are going to the newly named Echo Park Speedway, which is pretty cool. And I've already taken a look at the entry list. Usually Jay does this, but I'm going to do it today. I'm going to give you some of the notables on that list here. And there are several notables for the Focus Health 250 at Echo Park Speedway, but no cars are going to miss the show. So that's good news. We always like it when everybody makes the show. Now, the notables are in the 07. We've got Nick Lights driving this weekend. Garrett Smithley will be in the number 14. And in the number 19, Eric Almirola is back. And you know, when Eric Almirola is in the race, he is always a threat to win. So keep your eye out for Eric Almirola. Another driver in the number 24 for Sam Hunt Racing is Patrick Staropoli. I'm anxious to see how he does this weekend as well. In the number 32 is Catherine Legg. We've got Joy Gase in the number 35. Mason Massey will be in the number 45. And Mason Maggio is in the number 53. And the number 70 is Leland Honeyman. And in the number 91 is CJ McLaughlin. So we have a lot of notables in the race this weekend and a lot going on in this race. The next race for the NASCAR Xfinity Series is that Focus Health 250 at Echo Park Speedway. It's a 1.5 mile asphalt paved oval that races like a super speedway, which is pretty cool. That race is Friday, June the 28th. That's later on today, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the home network for the Xfinity Series, the CW. And that starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're looking for radio coverage is on the PRN network, Sirius XM NASCAR Channel 90. Now, the distance is 251.02 miles for 163 laps. Stage 1 will end on lap 45. Stage 2 is also 45 laps, ending on lap 90. And then the final stage is 73 laps, and that will end on lap 163. Now, the final practice, the Kennametal Pole qualifying will be on Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the CW app, and the race starts again at 7:30. That pre-race coverage is at 7 o'clock. Now, to get into some of the storylines for the Xfinity Series, this weekend actually marks the 39th running of the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Echo Park Speedway. And it's the eighth at Atlanta since the track was reconfigured to a drafting track back in 2022. So again, races like a super speedway, but is a 1.5 mile track. And again, to be more specific, 1.54 mile speed drafting oval. So the Echo Park Speedway will be the fourth of 6 drafting tracks in the Xfinity Series for 2025. This is actually their second visit to Atlanta for the Xfinity Series. Atlanta is the first of 11 tracks that the Xfinity Series will revisit in 2025. So this is, as I said, their second track. Now, who are the drivers to watch? Well, Connor Zilisch won on an oval for the first time at Pocono last weekend. He has 4 straight top 5s since missing Texas due to a back injury. So I would definitely keep my eye on Connor Zilisch this weekend at Echo Park Speedway. But as a team, and Connor Zilisch is part of this team, Junior Motorsports has won 8 races this season with 5 different drivers, tied for the most different drivers in a season all time. Justin Allgaier, the Xfinity Series regular for Junior Motorsports, has 3 of those wins. Connor Zilisch has 2. Sammy Smith 1. And then drivers that have been kind of coming in on a one-time basis is Kyle Larson and Daniel Suarez. Now, Junior Motorsports is 4 wins away from reaching 100 wins. Only 3 other teams have won at least 100 NASCAR Xfinity Series races, and Joe Gibbs Racing leads that list at 217. Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing has 138, and Richards Childress Racing reached 100 wins earlier this year. So Junior Motorsports wants to join that elite group and are just 4 wins away from doing that. Now, 5 crew chiefs got their first Xfinity Series win so far this year. Chad Haney did it at Atlanta earlier this year. Sam McAuley at Darlington, and Adam Wall at Bristol. Corey Shea did it at Mexico City, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. add his name to the list of crew chiefs. He did it at Pocono. So first time he stepped in as a crew chief, and he won his first race at Pocono. Again, Junior Motorsports number 88 won 3 races with 3 different drivers and crew chief combos this season. So the 88 team is that Connor Zilisch team. So that's why I say that's one of the teams to keep your eye on this weekend. There are 10 races left in the regular season, so the countdown begins for the Xfinity Series before their playoff begins. There are just 6 playoff spots that are open for the 10-driver field. We'll keep an eye on that. Taylor Gray and Harrison Burton are separated by just 11 points at the playoff cut line. And the drivers from 8th to 14th are separated by 47 points. That's less than 1 race. So I would say it's kind of tight at that cutoff line, above and below the line. Now, the 4 drivers behind Harrison Burton in the Xfinity Series driver standings are all rookies. We've talked about how those rookies are kind of all bunched together at that cut line. Sheldon Creed lost 22 points to the cut line after finishing 36th at Pocono. He now sits plus 20 to that cut line. Austin Hill won the last 3 Atlanta races and 5 of the last 6. And I say keep an eye on Connor Zilisch, but the other driver that he's going to have to go through is going to be Austin Hill, because Austin Hill is very good on the superspeedway tracks. So definitely keep your eye on Austin Hill. Austin Hill is tied, actually, with Kevin Harvick for the most Atlanta wins all time. Harvick won 5 prior to the reconfiguration, and Hill has won 5 since that reconfiguration. So Austin Hill is the driver at Atlanta Motor Speedway, which, by the way, is his home track. Austin Hill is the all-time drafting track leader in wins. He has 9 wins and 14 stage wins, and he's led 754 super speedway type tracks altogether. Now, only 2 drivers on the entry list have previously won at Atlanta since that reconfiguration. We've talked about Austin Hill with those 5 Xfinity Series wins, but guess who else? It's one of the rookies. You're not going to believe it. Christian Eckes has 1 Truck Series win at Atlanta Superspeedway. Austin Hill is the only driver to win on all 3 drafting tracks in the Xfinity Series. So keep your eye on Austin Hill. He is dominant. Can anybody beat him? Well, Justin Allgaier won at Atlanta back in 2021 prior to the reconfiguration. So we'll see if maybe he's got this track figured out and can give it a go. Jesse Love won 3 straight poles at Atlanta and 4 straight poles at drafting tracks. Jesse Love might be one of those drivers to keep your eye on and see if he can give Austin Hill a run for his money this week. Jesse Love's 6 drafting track poles ranked second to a driver we used to call Front Row Joe. Joe Nemechek has 10. So Sammy Smith has 4 straight top 10s at Atlanta, the longest active streak. Harrison Burton, though, is the only driver to finish inside the top 10 and all 3 drafting track races this season. So Harrison Burton may also be one to watch, and he needs a good run. He's trying to secure his spot in the playoffs. Now, 4 of the 11 Atlanta races since the reconfigurations featured a pass for the win in the final 3 laps. So we'll keep our eye on that this weekend as well. And 3 of 7 Atlanta races since the reconfiguration have gone into overtime. So 8 drivers in the field made their first and only career Atlanta start in February. So 5 drivers from the field are from Georgia, and that includes Brandon Jones, Austin Hill, Kyle Sieg and Ryan Sieg, the brothers that are racing this weekend, and Mason Massey. So 5 hometown track drivers right there. Richard Childress Racing won all 3 drafting track races this season and swept all 6 stages. And guess who Austin Hill drives for? Richard Childress Racing. Richard Childress Racing also won 11 of the last 20 races on drafting tracks, all since Austin Hill joined his team in 2022. And Richard Childress Racing won 7 of the last 9 drafting track races, with Austin Hill with 5 and Jesse Love with 2. So definitely it's a Richard Childress Racing track. And I would say Jesse Hill is one of the drivers to keep your eyes on that might be able to give Austin Hill a run. 3 of the last 4 drafting track races featured a last lap pass for the win. And Justin Allgaier's 28 career wins are 9th on the all-time list. And he's just 1 away from tying Matt Crafton. So we got a lot of Justin Allgaier stats here. So stay tuned. He's also 7 top 10s away from reaching 300 in his career. And then when he does that, and I say when because it's certainly possible, he could become the first driver to hit 300 top 10s. So he can add to his list there with another top 10 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Justin Allgaier also leads all drivers with top 10 finishes and 648 laps led so far this year. So he has been the dominant driver this year. He has 10 top 5 finishes so far in 2025, and his most ever after 16 races in a season. Justin Allgaier also won the fastest lap award 5 times this season. No other driver has more than 2, so he's been dominant with that fastest lap award. Now let's move on to Sam Mayer. Sam Mayer is the only driver this season to finish top 15 in 13 of 16 races on the year. So keep your eye on Sam Mayer. 5 races this year have ended with last lap passes. 4 of the last 6 races this season had a pass for the win in the final 5 laps. 7 of the 16 races this season have gone into overtime, and Chevrolet has pretty much dominated with laps led this season. They've led 2,197 of the 28:01 laps of the season. So Chevrolet has really been the manufacturer in the series. Chevrolet's also won 14 of the 16 races. That's the most all time by manufacturer through 16 races in series history. So we're watching series history in the making at the Xfinity series this season. 2025 is the first season since 2003 without a first-time winner in the first 16 races. So wouldn't it be great if we'd see a first-time winner win at Atlanta this weekend? But I tell you, the chances are pretty slim if Austin Hill is in the field. But I think we're getting closer to somebody really giving him a run for his money. So we'll see what happens with this field. I'll tell you, the points in the Xfinity series, I'll give you a rundown of what those points are here. So, again, looking at the list, you've got Justin Allgaier here at the top. Your top 5 through Connor Zilisch, and how far back they are. Then the next 6 are Carson, Brandon Jones, Jeb Burton, Ryan Sieg. Harrison Burton is the first driver that's below. But the driver, Sammy Smith, is secure because he's got that win. But these drivers that have zeros behind their names, that would be Taylor Gray, Ryan Sieg, and Sheldon Creed, and Jeb Burton. Those are the vulnerable drivers in these next 10 races. Because if somebody below the cut line, Harrison Burton is certainly capable of it, Nick Sanchez, Christian Eckes, those drivers are all capable of getting wins in these upcoming races. If Eric Almirola gets a win, it's not going to affect the playoff standings because he's not a full-time driver. But Taylor Gray could get a win and secure his spot. He's in that 12th and final spot. Harrison Burton, Nick Sanchez, Christian Eckes, those drivers are all capable of getting a win. So I would say it makes these drivers vulnerable with these zeros behind their names. So they would be displaced. So I'm going to remove that right now. But I will say, do watch for more coming soon here in with Fan for Racing Radio. We are going to do the other previews. One for Atlanta is the NASCAR Cup Series. ARCA Menard Series, as well as the Truck Series, are all racing at Lime Rock Speedway. 2 tracks, 4 races, and we've got all the previews here at Fan for Racing Radio. So stay tuned for that. And certainly I want to say thank you for watching. We do appreciate you, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Jay will be joining me for those previews as we move forward. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you soon.